If you're currently hovering over the buy button for an Apple TV 4K or standing in the aisle at the Apple Store ready to pick one up, you need to stop right now. Put the wallet away and take a deep breath, because everything happening behind the scenes suggests that Apple is quietly preparing its most significant living room upgrade in years. We aren't just talking about a minor speed bump. We are looking at a device that insiders believe will redefine the role of that little black box under your television. If the flood of recent leaks, code discoveries, and supply chain whispers are even halfway accurate, the upcoming Apple TV 4K 2025 is going to make the current model feel instantly outdated. We are tracking a shift from a simple streaming accessory to a legitimate entertainment and smart home command center. So, before you spend your hard-earned money on technology that is about to be replaced, let's break down exactly what is coming, why the release date has shifted, and the massive hardware changes that will likely make this the must-have tech upgrade of next year. To really understand why this specific upgrade is such a big deal, you have to look at the awkward spot the current Apple TV is sitting in right now. The model you can buy today, the third generation, launched way back in 2022. It runs on the A15 Bionic chip. Now, give credit where it's due. That chip is a beast. It is still faster and smoother than almost any other streaming stick or dongle on the market. It handles 4K HDR, Dolby Vision, and the Apple ecosystem integration beautifully. But in the world of Apple Silicon, a chip that is 3 years old is ancient history. We are seeing a growing mismatch between what Apple wants to do with software and what the hardware can comfortably handle. Apple is pushing hard into high-end gaming with Apple Arcade. They're introducing complex video processing features, and they're laying the groundwork for Apple Intelligence to run on every screen you own. All of these ambitions place a heavy load on that aging A15 processor. The software is writing checks that the hardware is starting to struggle to cash. This growing gap is the smoking gun that proves a new model isn't just a rumor, it is a necessity. When it comes to the release window, the story has changed quite a bit, and it is important to set your expectations correctly. For a long time, the most credible voices in the tech community, the supply chain analysts and the leakers who track component shipments, were pointing toward a late 2024 release. However, that timeline has shifted. The consensus among the most reliable sources now points directly to a 2025 launch. While a delay might sound like bad news, it actually makes a lot of sense when you look at Apple's broader roadmap. Apple is currently in the middle of a massive transition to align all its devices around advanced silicon capable of running on-device AI. By pushing the release to 2025, Apple ensures the new Apple TV isn't just a minor refresh, but a device fully ready for the next generation of smart features. Apple typically treats these updates quietly. We shouldn't expect a massive, flashy event dedicated solely to the TV. It is far more likely to drop alongside a spring iPad announcement or quietly appear on the website during the fall iPhone cycle. Let's talk about the heart of the beast, the internal chip. This is the upgrade that matters most for the longevity of your purchase. The widespread agreement among leakers is that the next Apple TV will finally jump from the A15 to something much more modern, likely the A17 or a variation of the A16 class silicon. To the average person, that just sounds like a number change, but the real-world implications are huge. A processor of that caliber ensures that the interface remains buttery smooth, not just today, but 4 or 5 years from now. It allows for advanced video upscaling techniques that can make lower quality content look crisp on your 4K TV. It means apps will launch instantly. But the biggest beneficiary here is gaming. Apple has been trying to convince the world that the Apple TV is a console competitor. The current model is okay, but it struggles under heavy workloads. A next-generation chip would allow for stable frame rates in console-quality titles, finally making the vision of living room gaming on Apple TV a reality rather than just a marketing gimmick. But a fast chip is useless if it gets bottlenecked by other components, which brings us to memory and storage. This is an area where users have been quietly suffering. The current maximum storage of 128 gigabytes fills up shockingly fast if you're downloading high-end games, saving offline content, or loading up the device with apps. The speculation is that Apple will finally address this by bumping the base model to 128 gigabytes and offering a higher tier version with 256 gigabytes. This would align perfectly with the push toward richer applications. Alongside storage, we are expecting a bump in RAM. More memory is critical for keeping apps open in the background. If you've ever switched from Netflix to a game and then back to Netflix, only to have the app reload from scratch, that is a memory limitation. Increasing the RAM would solve that, keeping your place in multiple apps simultaneously and making the whole experience feel more fluid. Then there's the issue of connectivity, which is arguably the most boring spec until your movie starts buffering. The 2025 model is expected to embrace the newer Wi-Fi 6E or even Wi-Fi 7 standards. Why does this matter for a TV box? Because our homes are becoming crowded with wireless devices. Wi-Fi 6E opens up a new fast lane for data that isn't clogged up by our neighbor's old routers or your smart fridge. This means rock-solid, high bitrate streaming without the dreaded spinning wheel. It is also crucial for cloud gaming and remote play, where every millisecond of latency counts. Furthermore, a better network chip strengthens the Apple TV's position as a HomeKit hub. If you use smart lights or cameras, the Apple TV is often the brain controlling them. Better connectivity means your smart home responds faster and stays online more reliably. One of the geekier but incredibly impactful rumors involves a video codec called AV1. If you watch a lot of YouTube or Netflix, this affects you. AV1 is a modern compression technology that allows for higher quality video at lower file sizes. It is becoming the industry standard. The current Apple TV lacks hardware support for this, which is a glaring omission. Adding native AV1 decoding means you get a cleaner, sharper picture with fewer compression artifacts, even if your internet connection isn't the fastest. It is one of those invisible upgrades that you will feel in day-to-day viewing, even if you don't know it's there. And while there are always people in the comments asking about 8K support, we need to be realistic. There's almost no native 8K content available, and Apple rarely adopts a technology until it's mainstream. So, while 8K is possible, it is far more likely Apple focuses on perfecting the 4K experience. Now, let's address the most controversial part of the Apple TV experience, the remote. We have a love-hate relationship with the Siri remote. It is sleek, but it is slippery, and it loves to get lost in the couch cushions. The good news is that developers digging through iOS beta code have found references to a totally new remote identifier. Apple doesn't put code for non-existent hardware into their software for no reason. This strongly implies a redesigned remote is coming. The feature everyone is praying for is Find My integration. It is honestly baffling that this doesn't exist yet. Imagine opening the Find My app on your iPhone and having it guide you to the exact couch cushion where the remote is hiding, playing a sound to help you locate it. That alone would be worth the upgrade for many families. Beyond that, we might see subtle tweaks like better backlighting for movie nights and maybe slightly larger, more tactile buttons to fix the ergonomic complaints of the current version. We also have to look at where the software is going because hardware and software are two sides of the same coin. tvOS has quietly evolved from a simple app launcher into a sophisticated platform. We now have FaceTime on the big screen, Insight features that tell you the actors on screen in real time, and enhanced dialogue clarity that uses AI to separate speech from background noise. These features are signaling Apple's true ambition. They want the Apple TV to be a media intelligence hub. As Apple Intelligence rolls out across the ecosystem, expect your TV to get smarter. We're talking about natural language voice commands that actually work, knowing who is sitting in front of the TV to switch profiles automatically, and offering hyper-personalized recommendations. All of this on-device processing requires the new hardware we just discussed. There's also a wildcard rumor that refuses to die, and it is worth mentioning. For years, reports have suggested Apple is working on a hybrid device. Picture a product that combines the Apple TV, a high-quality HomePod speaker, and a FaceTime camera all into one soundbar-like unit. This would be the ultimate Trojan horse for the living room. It would handle your streaming, Fill the room with high-fidelity audio and manage your video calls and smart home controls from a single device. While it is unclear if this radical redesign will launch in 2025 or if it is a longer-term project, the fact that Apple is exploring it shows they are not done innovating in this space. They want to own the living room in the same way they own your pocket. Another strategic piece of the puzzle is sports. Apple has invested billions into live sports with MLS Season Pass and Friday Night Baseball. Rumors persist that they are bidding for even more global sports rights. Live sports are demanding. They require low latency, the ability to watch multiple games at once with multi-view, and instant stat updates. The current hardware does an okay job, but a powered-up 2025 model would handle these complex, data-heavy streams with ease. For the cord cutter who is primarily a sports fan, this reliability is a major selling point. Of course, the big question on everyone's mind is the price. Apple currently sells the Apple TV 4K in the $129 to $149 range. They are under immense pressure from competitors like Roku and Amazon, who sell 4K sticks for $40. Apple has a few plays here. They could keep the current 2022 model around and drop the price to $99 to capture the budget market, while introducing the new high-spec 2025 model at the $149 price point. Or they could use the efficiency of their new manufacturing processes to keep the price exactly the same while offering way more value. Historically, Apple likes to maintain premium pricing, but they are also aggressive about getting their services into as many homes as possible. The most logical outcome is a new model that stays competitively priced, offering a premium experience that justifies the extra cost over a cheap plastic dongle. So, this brings us to the final verdict. Should you buy an Apple TV 4K today? If your current smart TV interface is painfully slow, crashing constantly, or you are still using an ancient HD streamer, you probably can't wait. The current model is still a fantastic device. However, if you can hold out, if your current setup is good enough for now, the smart move is to wait. The 2025 refresh is shaping up to be a massive leap forward. You're looking at a future-proof chip, better storage, smarter connectivity, a remote you can actually find when you lose it, and the hardware necessary to run the next generation of AI features. Buying now means buying at the end of a cycle. Waiting means securing a device that will last you for the next 5 years. If you found this deep dive helpful and want to stay ahead of the curve on Apple's next moves, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Share this video with your friends who are thinking about upgrading their TV setup so they don't waste their money, and smash that bell icon so you never miss a leak. In my honest opinion, the Apple TV is the most underrated product Apple makes. It is the one device that brings the whole family together. And if these leaks are true, the 2025 model is going to be an absolute powerhouse that puts every other streaming box to shame. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.